entertainment, current events, and Hollywood. Don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha Bean, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Oh, Michael Tove.
Welcome.
I forgot my line.
Awesome. No, you did really great. I love it.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Welcome to the show. I'm really excited to talk to you. I read your bio. You've been working for quite quite.
Yeah, and you still wanted to do this. All right.
And I love talking to creatives, and I love talking about the process. But I really like going, to the beginning. I always say at the beginning, chart our trajectory in life, our little habits, we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like?
Oh my God. Do I need to sit on the sofa now and get tissues?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I grew up in an academic family. My dad was a faculty member at NC State, North Carolina State University, in the Department of Biochemistry, and my mom was a microbiologist. So I kind of started off life following along this academic trajectory. And the reality is that I carried it all the way to master's and PhD degrees in biology. But there was always a part of me that had this creative urge. I can remember, oh my gosh, back when I was in elementary school, even, fifth grade, whatever, uh, of thinking, wow, it'd be great to do a movie or, do this. I was always writing. I was just doing little creative things. And, um, and so it was always there. It was just a nascent seed, really. And when I was in high school, I survived a an advanced senior English class. It was an AP type. They didn't have AP classes back then, but it was
Mhm.
that kind of a thing. And I didn't. I wasn't very good at doing the assigned work, laziness, distractions, but I got through it by writing little short stories. And all of these short stories had this, well, the term has now been applied, Hitchcockian
Mhm.
sort of an approach that I always I always liked the idea of holding the ending out there and keeping it at bay. Even when I just tell tales to this day, it's just kind of a pattern of mine. I hold back on the punchline as long as I can.
Are you passionate about film and in-depth conversation? Look no further. MVB Films Productions now offers exclusive access to unedited, unfiltered interviews and film content through our Patreon. Join for just $5 per month and unlock candid commentary, behind-the-scenes footage, and projects you won't find anywhere else. Hosted by Meosha Bean of Creator to Creators, this membership gives you a front row seat to the creative process. Become a member today. Patreon.com, Meosha Bean Official.
And try to lead my listeners or my readers or whatever down false paths of expectation so that I can jerk the rug out at the end. It's just kind of the way I like to do it.
I
And
love it.
yeah, and so with yard sailing, that's kind of the way it went. But I've got every story I ever tell does that in some capacity. Because for me, um, stories with predictable endings are boring. I'm
Yes,
just,
I agree.
yeah, I just don't, I go to movies and I tell this all the time, but several years ago there was this star-studded whodunit type of a film. If I mention the title, you would go, "Oh yes." And about halfway through, I kind of figured out, well, not kind of, I figured out who done it. And I spent the rest of the movie hoping I was wrong, but I wasn't. It was disappointing.
Hmm.
And then I go to films, and I don't get any credit for saying this, but 2 years ago, the movie Conclave. Oh my God. Uh, which just jerks the rug out from under you. For brilliantly done film in all different aspects, but the ending just jerks the rug out from under you in ways that are completely unexpected. And I
Hmm.
was enamored. I loved it. And I don't spoil it for anybody that's listening in case they haven't seen it. Go see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Have you've seen it?
I have. Yes.
Yeah, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, stuff. And but that's what makes it great.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
great stories do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that's just kind of my shtick.
I love
But
that.
yeah.
It's interesting because I read, you've been creating for such a long time, and I looked at your, oh my God, your credits are just holy crap. Your journey in filmmaking took decades, right? Did the
Yeah.
long wait ultimately make the success of yard sailing more meaningful?
That's an interesting question. In a way, yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because I got into the film world because I had this assumption that the only way I could learn how a script would get made into a film was to get onto a set. I had zero understanding. And
Hmm.
and so way back in 1989, I answered a cattle call for a
Mm.
feature film that was being shot in my area, and I got in and just fell in love with the process. I mean, I got anybody that's in the industry understands what I'm about to say, but I got infected with the virus, and it's incurable. It really
Yeah.
it is. It consumes your body, and but I went 3.5 years acting, and with I always believe in training. I mean,
Mhm.
I get really annoyed with folks who want to break in, quote unquote, and do so just on their good graces or because they supposedly deserve it or whatever.
Mm.
Um, Eric Roberts said, he says, you know, you never chase it. It never chases you. You only chase it.
Hmm.
And he's right. So I did, and I did a lot of things right. I did a lot of things wrong. But then I ended up getting married, and I had to face a reality of, yeah, what are you going to really doing for a living? And so I took a hiatus.
Hmm.
But quite a few years ago now, I sort of fell backwards into an opportunity. I got to meet and became very good friends with Tom Mount, who was president of Universal for about 8 years in the
Hmm.
70s and early 80s, and then became an independent producer. And Tom was instrumental in me sort of finding direction
Hmm.
and that and starting to train in screenwriting fundamentally with the Jacob Kruger studio out of New York, and plus an awful lot of others. So I've from courses with Carl Iglesias to master
Nice.
classes from Susanna Grant and Aaron Sorkin and so forth. And I learned the craft.
Yeah.
And you know, and 2 years ago, and I've got a score of scripts. And about 10 years ago, I met Tom Logan, who
Nice.
was ultimately a director of yard sailing, and Tom and I were working on a couple of other scripts, and we still are. And but 2 years ago, I said to him, I said, you know, are you at all interested in doing a short? And fun, he knew my work, he knew what I was capable of doing, and he said, yeah, he says, let's take a look at it, and then just all of a sudden, you know, whammo, we're in pre-production, which it happened. It happened really fast after a very long time. Um, and we did an enormous amount of work. I mean, 6 weeks of tweaking and rewriting the script, a month of developing our crew, and then
Mhm.
5 months of casting. Make no mistake about it. 87,000 auditions came in before we were done.
Nice.
Yeah, 87,000 auditions
That's
um,
incredible.
for nine roles. And we're ultra low budget short, but you know it was SAG and
Hmm.
um it was SAG signatory and DGA signatory and so forth. And and you know, and so we got it going. The reality is that everybody on set kept asking, does it feel real yet? And my answer was no.
Mm. Hmm.
It didn't. It really didn't. It started feeling real, I guess, at the premiere.
Mm, okay.
Um, and then it's starting to sink in with me doing all of these things. I mean, it's like, wow, really? I have a publicist. Um, but
Right.
and then getting to hobnob and so forth with some celebrities, you know, like Eric and Eliza, who, yeah, they're friends. I mean, you know, they're just friends, and but you cross a bridge from one side to the other, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, you know, how did I get on the inside, so to speak, of this room that everybody wants to be in, the room of Hollywood glamour and all that. And of course, if you've been around it, you know there's
Hmm.
nothing glamorous about filmmaking. It's hard work.
No.
It's long hours for lousy pay in most cases, and then you're unemployed.
Yeah.
But true, isn't
It's very
it?
true.
But you know, and I remember um on my very first film, I was in a scene with Victoria Tennant, uh, and who you know she was a respected performer star. She was actually
Hmm.
married to Steve Martin at the time. Not that that means anything. But I was talking to her about that, and I said, "What is it about this industry? Because this is
Hmm.
the hardest work with the longest hours and the most unforgiving conditions for the least amount of pay I've ever experienced. Why is it so much fun?" And you know what her response was? Exactly.
What?
Exactly. That's what she said. I was like,
I love
okay, you
it.
know, you don't get any more succinct than that, but it's
Yeah.
true. And
Yeah.
so there are those of us in it, and then there's everybody else, and the people on the and you know, and you're obviously in it, and I life you're anything like me, you have two lives, two sets of friends, one set of friends that are
Yes.
in, one set of friends that are out, and there is no way you can get your friends on the outside to understand what it
Yes.
is. You agree with me?
100%. 100%. It is the
Yeah,
biggest thing that I think I had problems with. And I just had to get to realization of like, well, they're like what you said, there we have two sets and that's okay.
yeah, it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
And then within the outside set, you've got two groups. You've got the one group that is cheering for you, right? Those are your real friends. You don't
Yes.
understand, but at least they're on your side. They're cheering for you. And then you got the other group that is saying things like, well, my cousin's next door neighbor's brother's best friend took an acting class in, right?
Can you get him in or yeah.
Yeah. Can he be a star in your next movie?
It's like doesn't work that way, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Um, and
Uh,
and I know I've had people say, um, will you help me get Eric Roberts? Because Eric's my friend now. Will you help me
yeah.
get Eric Roberts in my movie? And I go,
Oh my goodness,
no,
yes.
no, sorry. No, it doesn't work that way. Talk to his agent. Her name is Eliza. But
Right. It's so funny. I've gotten that question so many times because I
oh,
worked with Eric gosh, at 10 years ago, and then I worked with
yeah.
him again like a year ago.
Mhm,
And we worked like maybe he's been in like four of my films, and I just was like and as one, I was different roles in different projects. The first one when I met him, I was directing. It was an action film. We had it was he had like a small part in that, and it was really fun. And then I think after a while, I just kind of would call, Eliza and I just, hit it off. She's great.
oh my God,
And
Eliza's phenomenal. I love
I love
Eliza.
her.
She's
Love
she's
her.
she's, she's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. And ever since then, everyone's like, how do you get Eric? And I'm just like, oh God, is this really a question everyone asks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I know it because there is how do I put this? There is the reality, and then there is what everybody else sees.
Some stories are painful to tell. Some truths were buried in silence for years. But healing begins when people finally speak. Church Hurt. Season 2 is now in production, and we are searching for brave individuals who are willing to share their real stories of spiritual abuse, manipulation, trauma, control, betrayal, and survival inside the church. Our goal is not to attack faith, but to bring truth into the light and help others who may still be suffering in silence. If you have a story to share and would like to be considered for Season 2, please email us directly. All contact information is located in the description box below, and our team will get in touch with you. The only way we can stop the lies, corruption, and abuse of power in our world is by speaking out. Your voice could help someone else heal. We are also currently raising funds through our GoFundMe campaign to help bring Church Hurt Season 2 to more streaming platforms worldwide. Every donation helps us continue production, editing, licensing, marketing, and expanding the reach of these important stories. Season 2 features some of the darkest but most powerful true stories, yet from brave survivors who chose to break their silence. If you watched Season 1, thank you for the support. If you haven't yet, head over to your favorite streaming platform and search Church Hurt by Meosha Bean. Watch and stream today. Church Hurt Season 2, coming in 2026.
Yeah.
They go to and it's like with anything, you go to a professional sporting event, right? And you see the team that you're rooting for doing what they're doing on the court or on the field or,
Yeah.
right? And you never see the hours and hours and hours and hours of work behind
Hmm.
the scenes so that they can do that.
Hmm.
And we always look at the finished product, and you never see what goes on behind it.
Yeah.
And you know, and you'll appreciate this because I get people that will, especially my friends, they'll say, "Oh, I can imagine that it's 1,000 times harder than I imagine." And I go, "No, it's 1,000 times more than that."
Yeah, I always tell people that I describe this industry, like you said, it's fun, it's exciting, it's a lot of ebbs and flows. But you're right, you have to really love it because there are times where you're literally not eating
Oh my
and you're
God.
putting your money. You're going to this, you're at this premiere completely broke, but you're like the next job, it's like it'll put you back in the green. It's pretty wild
Right.
how it
Oh, I know. I know.
works.
I mean, Tom Logan tells me constantly. He says, "I quit after every film I've ever done."
Yeah.
Yeah, and and all of my friends that are in the industry are like that. It's like, well, except not Eric.
Yeah. He just
Eric
does
just
what he
loves what he
wants.
does.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
he doesn't care about the stardom thing at all. He just loves working, and it's amazing. And
Yeah.
then you get people that say, "Oh, well, he'll do anything." No.
No, no. No. He really
No.
he really believes in though the you like he believes in because I think I asked him, I said, why do you do so many indie projects? And he said, you never know who's going to be the new boss. He's like,
Right.
this project could, you never know where this is going to go. And he's like, if I can help that person,
Right.
I did my job.
Well, and it's funny because on our set, one of the things that we didn't do
Hmm.
was treat people differently.
Hmm.
The extras, we call them background talent, but we treat the extras with the same degree of respect that we treat the stars.
Right.
Everybody is equally welcome on the set. If you're supposed to be there, it's for a reason and you're important. And there is no
Yes.
hierarchy of importance in terms of treatment.
Hmm. I love that.
And two things happen when you do that. One, you get a better result across the board. Everybody does a better job because of that.
Hmm.
And two, do you have any idea how many fans of the people that were on set you make as a filmmaker? I mean, we got texts and emails up one side and down the other from everybody, from the
Wow.
cast, from the crew,
Wow.
from the extras, saying this was the most extraordinary film set I've been on. And
That's
we love
beautiful.
that. We love that. Um, I've been on sets. I'm sure you've been on sets where it wasn't that way. And it's not fun.
Yeah.
If it's not fun, what are we doing?
Exactly.
I'm- yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
anyway, okay.
Speaking about that, I love that what you said about the importance. Everyone has importance. Um, was there a moment on set of the hand to me tell when you realized filmmaking was something you could never fully walk away from? And did that also feel like you
Um,
felt seen in that?
yeah, the day that I showed up to for wardrobe. The moment I walked on the set. The moment I walked on the set, the magic happened.
Mm,
And it was like, oh my God, this is just insane. Um, the At the production office, which was actually at a place where they did a lot of location, fortuitous and convenient. Um, Everything in the production office was done up in period.
hmm.
So it was just all there. They
Yeah.
they created the environment from the moment you walked on set, which, if you think about it, is smart.
Hmm.
Okay? Because if everything is part of the set, if everything is in period, if it's all there, it makes it easier for the cast
Hmm.
to get into character and stay in character. Um, I mean, Devil Wears Prada 2 just came out, right?
Yeah.
And I've been listening to all of the interviews, and on the first one, um, Anne Hathaway came on, and she was very starstruck working with Meryl Streep. And Meryl went up to her and basically said, I think you're going to be fabulous. And this is the last nice thing I'm going to say to you for the rest of the time. Because Meryl was going to be in character start to finish.
Right.
In yard sailing, our lead, Georgia Van Kylenberg, who is Australian, she's from Melbourne.
Love it.
She um, she showed up on set in character and was in character pretty much the whole time. I mean, she was Sally Marsh even when I, one of the first mornings, case in point, I was going down the elevator. Georgia came and got on the elevator. She was going to work out in the gym, right?
Hmm.
And she was Sally. I mean, she was Georgia, but her Australian accent was not there.
Love that.
She was in her Midwest standard American accent, and and she's just being herself. In fact, later I asked her, she says, yeah, she says she flips back and forth because she lives in LA. She's from Southern Australia,
Mhm.
and her family hates it when she goes American on her accent. But the point is that she she was she got into character, she stayed in character, and it made a difference. And what was hilarious was at the very end, we had wrapped on her last scene. We still had a day of shooting left, but she had finished. And we were sitting around at night in the house that we had rented. That was the Jim and Sally Marsh home. And we had wrapped. We were, yeah, it was like a little after party type thing.
Mhm.
And unbeknownst to me, they had a little thing for me planned with bottles of champagne where they
Aw,
sprayed me with stuff outside. Anyway,
nice.
but we're just sitting there, and all of a sudden, Georgia just cuts loose about Australia and about her family there in full Aussie accent, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to her and I'm going, "Bye, Sally." It was just a transformation, and it was great.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the the other thing about treating people like that is what you said a while ago, and that is what if one of the people who is on your set for the very first time and is evaluating, is this going to be something I want to do with my life or not?
Hmm.
And what you do becomes pivotal to them in that decision. And what if that is the next Meryl Streep
Yeah,
or any of them? I mean, anybody that makes it, really, really makes it, it's as rare as hen's teeth. But what if what you do is the catalyst for them to launch a career, a remarkable career in the arts? I mean, what else, So
I love that.
I'm
That's
babbling
beautiful.
now.
No, I love
Yeah,
it. I love this.
yeah.
Um, I'm curious, what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers who film they may have started too late in life?
No such thing. I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
I I have, I get asked this a lot. And there are several things that I would say. I would say, first of all, become a student of the industry.
Hmm.
Really, really embrace the idea of learning, of studying, of training. Learn what the industry is, learn what it isn't, and become an absolute ardent student of the industry. Take up every opportunity to never, ever, ever give up.
I love that.
It's going to take time. Success is not going to come and hit you overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a devotion and a dedication. And don't do it because you think you're going to get rich doing it, because you won't. Even if you do, you're not going to get rich for it, on it, because that's what you wanted. It's because you did everything else right. And
Yeah.
three, and this is kind of a mantra of mine, is that recognize that life is filled with once in a lifetime opportunities. And
Yeah.
these are fleeting little things that come and go so fast that if your antenna aren't up, you miss them.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
things, little tiny threads. And when you see them, you grab onto them, and some of them snap and some of them don't.
Mhm.
And that's my advice.
That's beautiful. Gosh, I could talk to you all day. We just have a
Yeah.
few more minutes, but your film has notable success on
Yeah.
the film circus.
Yeah. Surprisingly so.
Yeah, which was you surprised, which is interesting. What have you learned about audiences from those screenings?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of amazed at when people go to the film and then they come back and they say, "Wow, that was better than I thought it was going to be." I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." Um, but I don't know. I mean, to me, my job is if people see the film or, experience the story, whether it's reading or watching or whatever. And then
Hmm.
they come away and they've got a ton of questions and they're discussing the what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if? And all of a sudden, the conversations about the film become longer than the film was. There's success.
Yeah.
If you go to a movie and you walk away and then somebody says, "How was it?" And you go, it was okay. And then, a week later, nobody even remembers it. It wasn't so okay.
Yeah.
It's about addressing the human condition, in my opinion.
Mm.
And that only
Mhm.
happens when it starts a conversation. If
I love
people
that.
don't like the film, fine. Why? Um, you know, did you not like it because you hated the ending? Great, I did my job,
Yeah.
you know.
I love
Um,
that.
but I, I don't know. I mean, I'm still finding my way. You know, uh, when we first started, we were thinking, man, if we could only get 30 or 40 wins, wow, that would be fabulous, right?
Yeah.
And then we were going, oh my gosh, we might actually get as many as 100 wins.
I love that.
Now
Love
we're
that.
over 300 and counting. It's like,
That's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah.
no.
It's
And
incredible.
it's like, whoa, okay. And now, of course, the next thing is how do we follow up with that?
Right. Right. I believe in you. I know that
Thanks.
you will do it for sure. Um, where can people find you on social media to
Well,
find everything you
okay,
have going
well,
on?
social media, I don't really, so I'm older now. So notice I said, um, but they can watch the film on my website. So
Awesome.
emeraldoakproductions.com.
EmeraldProductions.com. All right.
And
Awesome.
on the website, you will see a little thing that says yard sailing, and right below it, there's a link, watch the film. And you can watch the film on the website.
Beautiful. Definitely. Everyone go watch it, support yeah, support filmmaking.
Yeah, I mean, have a good time and then and then it can, and there's links on the website. So if they want to ask questions or whatever, you can reach out to me and, whatever. Uh, I haven't gotten so many emails yet that I can't answer them all, but that might come. Uh,
I love that. I love that. Quick question, really quick, and we have like 4 minutes left. But
sure.
was it something that you wanted to do, like put out for free, or you did, or was it like there's a lot of filmmakers like, oh, I wanted this distribution, I want to sell it, but
Oh no,
even
we're
that you're not
we're gonna
making.
be no, no. I'm
Yeah,
a business person, so yeah,
yeah.
we're no, we're still working through the film festival circuit.
Got it.
And when
Okay,
that's done, then I'm going for distribution, and I have
got it.
chatted with a couple of distributors, but one I'm leaning towards. And so, yeah, we're gonna try to get it out. But more to the
Awesome.
point,
Yeah,
the purpose of yard sailing was to create proof of concept because we're working on a theatrical feature with a much, much, much bigger budget. And getting investors to fork out well into eight figures is a whole different game than talking about financing a short.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so we recognized that here I am. Yes, I've been around the industry, but as a filmmaker, as a writer, and as a producer, I had no functional credits. I mean, I had
Mhm.
some, but nothing at the level that we needed. And that's what yard selling was intended to do. And it's been very
Nice.
successful in that regard, I think. And we're getting traction, and we're in conversations with entities
That's great.
to get the feature moving forward, and that's the point.
I love
So
it.
everything else it's one thing leads to the next. And then after that, I've
Absolutely.
got others. I've got I am working on two shorts right now. So one's in early production and one's in pre-production. And it's, new career.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Yeah.
and sharing your knowledge and
I'm
your
glad I
journey.
enjoyed this. I definitely did.
Me too. Come back anytime.
Yeah, well, you've got my contact information, certainly through Lori, and um, you know, um, talk to you soon, I hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Okay,
And thank you
thanks.
all. Thank you.
Oh
And thank
yeah.
you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.